Howdy folks, K-Dog here. Thought I'd do a little unboxing video. I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I haven't done one of these in a long time, and I kind of get negative reviews on my unboxing videos. I did one of the Hunger Games box set a couple years ago, and kind of got a bad rap for that, but you know, hey, we'll just move right along and just go on to the next video. So hey, that's how it works. Now this one's really special to me because it's my second favorite movie of all time. E.T. being the number one, and this one being the second. And yes, I am double dipping a little bit in terms of buying this movie. I have it on. Make it. Yeah. I own it 3 times, 2 on one format. Actually, make that 3, but if you count this, I have it on DVD. I have it on a Blu-ray set with another movie, with the same actor, and plus this set right here, which has both DVD and Blu-ray versions all in the same package. What am I talking about? The Ten Commandments box set. Yes, and this of course is the reissued version. It's not the big deluxe edition that came out about a couple years ago, but it's the same content pretty much. The only thing different is that the discs are not in the nice tablets. Yeah, and that it doesn't have that big box set look. It's not that big box set. But still, let's dive into this. There's some really cool swag in this. Alright, so here we go. We got the nice big Ten Commandments box set here. Of course, you know, this just comes off. The reason why there's different versions of this, this is the newly revised edition, because back about a year or so ago, Paramount sold a lot of their catalog titles to Warner Brothers, but Paramount still gets the credit of licensing and all that. So but you'll see, like, a lot of Paramount titles will now carry this. Because we tip it on the box, we see the Warner, let me focus here a little bit, the Warner Home Video logo right underneath the Paramount logo. So, but still, some cool stuff in here. It's the same transfer. If you have the just the regular Blu-ray edition of this, there's some nice stuff in here in this box set that you don't get on just the plain Jane Blu-ray edition, because there's a lot more content. There's a lot more just overall cool swag. Okay, first things first, you know, we got just the box set alone. This here on the back is describing the contents and whatnot. So the first thing, instead of parting like the other box set did, this one just opens up, just like so. And we see in that shot the children of Israel coming down the Red Sea. Now we get into the actual contents of this box set. First thing we have here is a nice little pull strap, so you can actually pull the contents out very nicely without doing a lot of damage. Now the first thing here we have is the original premiere program guide that was handed out at the theatrical premiere, and this is done by All Illustrations, and there's some really cool artwork in here. And it's Yeah, it's all paintings. It's no still photography from the movie except a little bit later on. There's some of the pictures that's been illustrated in the film. Yeah, these are just illustration. These are drawings and paintings of scenes that actually happen in the movie. And to be quite honest with you, some of these scenes look pretty. These paintings look pretty good, and they enhance the movie quite a bit. See, like there's Pharaoh carrying his dead son to put on the god. And then here's the only real photography that we have is just the cast. Yeah, so there we go. There's that. This is this was the program that was handed out when you went and saw the movie at the theatrical premiere in, like, say, New York City. They would hand these out. Now, for the next thing, we have a whole envelope full of contents. If I can do this one-handed, some of these are pretty tricky. The first thing here is costume sketches, and try to pull this out. There we go. See, there we go. Here's what Moses would look like as a shepherd. There's some Egyptian costumes, Ramses, and whatnot. I'll bother with that later. There's some more stuff to get into here. Let's see if I can pull all contents out. Here we go. Now this is a really neat thing. This is a card, like a ratings card. Now these were for people that were actually attending the movie, and it's when it was not premiering, but when it was in its preview stages. And this is from an audience member who was apparently in the 18 to 30-year-old demographic and was female, and expressed her what she thought of the movie in her notes here. Again, we'll put that to the side. Now the next thing here is a 2-page letter from Paramount Pictures and Cecil B. DeMille, and this is all describing about the program, like this thing right here, and it talks about the artist who is going to do that. Yes, it's for the first time in motion picture history, the entire pictorial content of a souvenir program for a film will treasure the finest color reproduction of the original paintings executed for the purpose by a great artist. And I'm trying to read real quick here who the artist was, because it says that he... Oh, Arnold Freberg. Arnold Freberg, yes. He was a Mormon, and it even says right here, Salt Lake City, and Freberg, commissioned by David O. McKay, president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's Mormonism. And sorry, folks, that's not Christianity, but that is Mormon. That is Mormonism. That is a entirely different. That is actually a cult. But moving right along, here's a Western Union telegram from to Cecil B. DeMille himself, from Adolf Zukor, and it even dates, November 21st, 1923. Now, what's that got to do with the Ten Commandments being filmed in 1956? Well, Cecil B. DeMille remade the Ten Commandments in 1956. He did a silent film in 1925. It was, released 1925. This is the telegram from Adolf Zukor, who was the owner of Paramount Pictures at the time. And this was him sending his congratulations to Mr. DeMille on his masterpiece at the time. But wait, there is more swag. Here's a letter that Charlton Heston himself wrote to Cecil B. DeMille after the film's success. See, even it says right here, as always, not your youngish, but your most trying actor. Some of these people, some of the writing's hard to read. Your most trying actor, Chuck. He kind of went by Chuck by his friends. And you see the letterhead even says Charlton Heston right there. Now this here is Charlton Heston's shooting schedule or flight schedule. And it says, when he had to travel to actually Egypt, because it even says the flight number leaves LA, number 2, American Airlines, and there's even TWA, and even says, arrive in Paris, and then leave Paris, and arrive in Rome, and then had to be in Cairo, and the dates to travel to Mount Sinai, and then travel back to Cairo, and shooting the Exodus on the desert, and then finally, some pickups, and then leaving back for Hollywood. Even says down here, Charlton Heston to obtain passport and various medical shots before above departure date. And one of the last few things here, part of just the general swag, is the first thing we have is the Paramount commissary menu. And this is really interesting to see, because you see what it would cost to have a lunch back in the 1950s at the Paramount commissary. I'm sure it'd be way more now than what it was back then. I mean, like your appetizer, an appetizer was Minute Maid orange juice, tomato juice, or V8 vegetable juice. And a small was 15 cents, medium was 25 cents, and a large was 40 cents. But then you turn it on the back, and there's some sketches here from, I assume, Cecil B. DeMille, but they were making some they were just sketching some headpieces that would go on some of the Egyptians right there. Now, back to the box set. We don't end there. We have this nice hardcover book called 10 Commandments, An Epic Journey. And basically this is kind of like a big digibook form. Like you buy a digibook and it has, the pictures like, something like this, but it's done, really big. There's like some of the sets. This is actually a poster, believe it or not. And, it goes from Moses as in the brick pit to a slave to shepherd, and to the prophet of God. And it just has some pictures from some of the premiere and around the world. Some behind the scenes, like Charlton Heston's real son played baby Moses. And that was a real interesting story, because they knew that Cecil B. DeMille knew that Charlton Heston's wife was expecting a child, and they said, well, we need a part for the baby Moses. If he's a boy, he's got the part. And sure enough, it was a boy, and he got the part. Matter of fact, you can see Charlton Heston right there holding his infant son and putting him in the basket. And just get the set for yourself, and you can check out some of the some of the little insights in that. It's really neat to look at. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, the contents itself, the movie itself, comes in this gatefold booklet. And this disc is missing because I'm currently watching it it's in the player right now. You have the movie, the original 1956 movie, split up on 2 discs, just like before. You have disc 1 plays towards the intermission. Then you have disc 2, which continues out the rest of the story. Then you have disc 3, which has the 1923 silent version that Cecil B. DeMille originally directed, along with a lengthy documentary all about historians and some of the young cast members that are still alive, like supporting cast, sharing their stories about the making of 10 Commandments. And of course you have the movie split up on DVD, 1 and 2 discs, then the special features disc. And in the background, in true form, we have this nice, pull out all the discs here. We have this nice painting when the children of Israel are crossing the Red Sea. If I can get the disc out. Yeah, that last disc out. Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, there's the 10 Commandments box set, which I'm really proud to have in my collection. Matter of fact, I'll hold it up here. The only problem I have with it is there's a little bit of crinkling up here and a little bit of a tear. But other than that, this is a pretty cool set to have. It's like I said, it's my runner-up favorite movie of all time. And there's some really cool stuff. Like I said, there's really cool stuff in here. Even the special features discs, I would encourage you to take a look at. If you poke around on my channel and you've seen the how they did the parting of the Red Sea shot, well, that documentary is in here. So I do encourage you, if you find one of these, pick it up. And this is the only way that you'll see that documentary, how they tell about the whole making of the movie, which is really cool. And there's some really cool stuff in here. I can't express that. There's some really, really cool stuff in here. Now, here's another thing. How much is this set worth? Try $50 at FYE. $50. While the other set was ranging around $80 to $100. That's how much of a big price difference there is. So if you find this baby, pick it up. I mean, there's some really cool stuff in there. You get some cool swag. You get the movie. And you get some great behind-the-scenes trivia about one of the greatest movies ever made. No joke. This is one of the greatest movies ever made of all time. Period. Hands down. So, from me to you, see you later.